This guy is in IRS loophole heaven. God had spoken to him to buy that land, an oil company. Now
That's right.
God helped him with. I see it as a funnel, right? You just bring people in, you adapt your messaging to be what it needs to basically persuade people to donate their money to you. You know, they leave, they receive good feelings, but in the end, your bank account is drained. You pump people in emotionally, they give money, and in the end, nothing happens for them. How is there a gain there for you? You can leave a tip too, all right? Starts with 35% tip and goes up to like 70. Like, what would you like to do? I could totally see that happening at these churches, having to tip. Text 366091, and then you'll be able to just have a quick link right to God. Yeah. You were asking what was the
for the this episode here is gonna be 2.
This episode here, we are here and we are live. We are totally speaking right now and everyone's listening to us.
Yes.
This is true. And so I was going to go ahead and say that right now we have no topics to talk about. So y'all are going to be really bored with the beginning of this episode. But welcome.
Welcome. And we are here.
Welcome. Yeah, we're back. It's a beautiful Saturday. Just been chilling, listening to some good music. How about you, Dave?
It's been a pretty, I'd say it's been a pretty chill morning. Just kind of slept in and just kind of getting the day started. And now we're here. We're doing this. So yeah, it's been pretty good.
I feel like as we get older, though, sleeping in tends to change what that really means.
Yes.
For me, I slept in today. I slept until 7 a.m.
Right.
That used to not be my slept in when I was in college.
Right. Yeah, no, my sleeping in now, is about like 7:30, 8 o'clock. But today was like 8:30. It was like, nah. But yeah, sleeping in's usually, between 7 or 8.
Yeah, there had been a time in my life, not only a few years ago, that where it was quite the extreme different, where I was sleeping in till like noon.
11 noon, yeah.
I don't know about starting my days that way anymore. It kind of feels like I might have aged past that.
Yeah, I think so. For me, definitely.
At least I hope so. Yeah, and I remember one particular time waking up at 1 p.m. I was living in Mexico at the time. It really stood out to me because I was living this very nomadic, no job, wake up when I want, do that type of lifestyle, right, that I had wanted. And I remember distinctly on that day waking up at 1 p.m. and just being like, what a fucking loser. Like, this is no good. I gotta turn this shit around.
Yeah, and that was that Playa?
Playa del Carmen, Mexico, the beautiful coastal town.
It is.
Yes, you remember it,
right? So yeah, it does. It definitely has that vibe though too. It kind of can suck you into that sort of beachy, beachy town.
Yeah.
Where everything kind of drifts and goes because it's so much people coming and going. Like
there's a very transient energy there at all times. People coming, going,
staying.
Living that beach lifestyle though for that long throughout the year. And for me, it just didn't work. It's conducive to not doing shit. Basically, you can wake up late, have a beer by the pool, get lunch at like 3, dinner, maybe have some more drinks, and you're like, it's kind of Groundhog Day. It just felt the same each day.
Mm-hmm. You just waking, it's kind of the same pattern, the same routine. Kind of got old. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's good for a vacation.
Yeah,
but yeah, living it is. It's not all glamorous as it would seem.
No, and I know many people that, especially after the pandemic, decided to make their way over there and wanted to experience that beach lifestyle. I think that was it was kind of like a big fuck you to the U.S. and Canada at the time because of how locked down everyone was.
Oh, right, I remember.
So that boom that happened like late 2020, early 21, that boom, we experienced that. We saw that. And that's been happening in a lot of cities around the world where everyone went remote basically during going remote realized, oh, I don't have to stay here. I can go somewhere else and where they have more loose laws around.
Oh, especially during during COVID times.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
some that were like really locked down and strict, and then others that just kind of like Mexico was a lot more lenient, I'd say, with it. Which is funny because I remember going there. It's 2021 after the new March. It was March or April of 2021, and go in there for like a week trip vacation, and fell in love with it. It was a great time. Come back because you had to before you came back you had to get a certificate that you went to the clinic or whatever to get it approved so you can fly. You remember this?
I remember this. They're very strict about people flying in
Right.
and out internationally with this going on.
Right. And so when I went to fly, like, there was like 3 lines. It was kind of weird because it was like each one said that it had passed, and then the last one said that it didn't, but they only caught the first one like it passed. So I was like, okay. And so I come home, and then like the next day, I had to show my work. Like, okay, yeah, I have my certificate. And they looked and they're like, oh, well, it says here you have it. And I was like, what? And I looked again and I was like, oh, that's right. Like it showed on that last line that it was positive for COVID. And then I was like, oh, damn. And then I was like, for the next week, I was sick as sick as a dog, as they say.
I don't think I ever got it. I only got it after I got the vaccine. It felt like I got the thing.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I got
It's
really
supposed to not get.
right. Isn't that funny? How the irony of getting a vaccine and you feel the symptoms of the thing that it's supposed to.
Right. Well, I mean, it's part of like because they give you a like part of it, I believe, to like build up your immunity to it, kind of like a flu shot.
Right.
I'm not too sure with shots.
I don't know either. It was the one and done. I didn't have to get the 2-shot one. It was just the one. Right. Which, anyway, we don't have to go into that per se. But it was an interesting time. I still like Mexico for a lot of reasons. Latin America holds a special place for me, and I will continue to be around it, I think, for the foreseeable future. America, not so much right now. Not so much. Not into it. But yeah. So, yeah. It's not my cup of tea, as they say.
See. Well, what's going on in the world, shall we see?
What is up in the world today? I would like to know from David. David?
Well, it's not really in the world, but it's here in the...
Well, everything really is in the world. If it's any event. It's the world.
It's news, right? No, this one is kind of an interesting topic. This just happened the other day. Well, it's what is it? It was announced the other day. Here, I'll share this.
I love announcements.
So Elon Musk is wanting to create a new political party. Building rockets may be easier. Okay. So yeah, he's trying to create a new political party because there's only the 2-party system. And then from that, well, it says here he wants to make it America Party.
It's a big beautiful bill, yeah.
What's it called when they government subsidized for EV vehicles?
I don't know. I mean, I imagine he created some regulations around it, or if it was subsidized prior, I bet Trump pulled the cord on that, right?
Right.
Yeah, Trump pulled the cord, I think, on that subsidy that probably he was getting, which is going to hurt his company overall and his stock price. He's upset. He's upset right now. He's real angry. Poor little Elon. It's tough being the richest man in the world.
It's lonely up there.
I mean, come on. It must be a tough life, you know? Basically, anything he disagrees with, he'll acquire something or create something to basically combat that. So, like, free speech, right? That was his whole thing. When I put that in quotes, he was obsessed with free speech and, you know, the far left woke that was going on with Twitter, right? In San Francisco. And he just comes in and acquires it. basically.
Right.
He's tired of it. When you have all that money, you can do those types of things.
Yeah, but did you see? Yeah, but it's kind of gone on the other extreme though now.
Exactly. I put that in quotes. Free speech is in quotes right there. The irony is that it's not.
It's like just like the pendulum just swung to the other side.
Yeah, it gets censored based on his political beliefs, right? Based on what he
Right.
believes for whatever the world. And so that's just how it will always be, I believe, with any type of entity that is centralized. When you have a centralized entity, this is what fucking happens. It's just another thing. So he'll create that party, he'll create that American party, and he'll have noble intentions to begin. But you know, if that thing's created, people vote, he campaigns, and he wins,
Right.
guaranteed he'll be empowered just like all the rest of them, and it will go to their head, and they will do a lot of things that are not in the interest of the people. That's my rant. It's just true. It's human nature is what it is, I think.
Yeah, once you obtain power and you have that money,
that level of
you're
power,
just like, right.
Unimaginable. The level of power. When you're the richest man in the world, I mean, you have a lot of power.
Right. I mean, nothing can really touch you, I guess, as far as like, because you have, I mean, it's all there for you. You don't have to really.
You have endless means to solve problems or get rid of people and you don't want them, or cover up things that you don't want people to know. The links that a lot of them are going to cover up, which comes back to Epstein, right? Didn't he say that, or Trump said that about Epstein? It was official that he was he committed suicide and there was no foul play at hand, correct? He told me this the other day.
Right. Yes.
There probably was, though. Right. But they went to great lengths to cover up their acts, is what's going on here. And if people don't believe
the latest I saw is they believe they destroyed those files or destroyed the evidence. Because I mean, that would make the most sense. I mean, not to say that there wasn't. I mean, that seems a little.
Oh no, there was definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah, they're absolutely covering all of it up, as you would do. But yeah, him creating his own party, I like the idea because I don't believe in the two-party system. I think it's flawed, fundamentally flawed, right? You got every fucking 4 years, it's the same shit where you got two sides. There's always other candidates and, the early stages of it, right? Like fucking Green Party or whatever. It's never going to work out. It's going to go down to the final two every fucking time. It's how it's programmed. It's programmed. And then on each side, they're just pumping money in. They just pump a lot of money in. It's just money. And then now you got the final two. Bump, bump, bump. Right? It's always like that. And then it's just a bunch of bullshit. They campaign. They say the thing that gets the votes. They get in office. And they don't really follow through with the things that they said in the campaign. It's just a cycle. So you have a two-party system. It's basically a monopoly. So introducing a third party, I'm open to this if it actually can take off.
If it's
not by that man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Not by that man.
Has he not gone off?
He's gone off his rocker. Yeah. I told you the other day I recently sold my Tesla stock actually out of protest. No, not of. Imagine me protesting. I'm selling my stock. No, I sold it because I saw where he was going, and I was like, he represents Tesla. That's a whole other thing in itself, talking about EV and the EV market. Me not really believing in it anymore, but also him. He's unpredictable, man.
He's so unpredictable.
I don't want my money in that person, basically. That was my reasoning, and I said bye-bye. I said bye-bye.
Yeah, I think that was probably a smart move.
Thank you for advising me on that. Unofficially, people. He's my unofficial financial advisor. This is not financial advice.
Okay, so yeah, and in other news, what do we got? Here, I'll just share it. I just abruptly stop you from like Elon. Yeah, that is a new party system would be great. I don't know if that's the guy to start it though.
No.
That I don't think.
But we do need a third party.
And I don't know who that person would be or what that party would be.
No
but it
idea.
needs to be more for the people than it is for.
No, I don't even. Yeah, for the people,
more
of course. It's not even about for the people. It's about
for the
it's for
balance,
everything
checks and
else
balance.
besides for just filling your own pockets.
Yes.
That's their whole thing, is to fill their own pockets.
Right.
There are so many ways to that manifests, so many ways. But in the end, all roads lead to their pockets. That's what I'm noticing with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
There are exceptions. Bukele in El Salvador. That guy is an exception. He's not perfect, but he is more of an exception to the majority of politicians that I've seen. The president of El Salvador. We don't have to go really into that. That would be a whole thing. There's a lot
He's
to
the
talk
one with
about.
that mega prison. The one with the mega prison.
That's what he gets all of his negative publicity for. And there's pros and cons to what he did, but the transformation on their crime rate, it's just undeniable. You look at the numbers, you're just like, dear God, like that's quite the drop. It went from one of the most dangerous countries to one of the most safest within like 5 years. It wasn't long. And he took extreme action, basically. Extreme action. Gang areas, fucking military police, just everything you put at them, start just rounding them up, and you build a mega prison that's fucking like, I think it's like 5 or 6 football fields long or some shit. It's like something bananas.
It's I mean, that's a very hard. I don't know if we want to get into that.
Tough one, I know. We can get it. I mean, fuck it. This is our podcast. We do the fucking one. I mean, it's an interesting one. Like the guy gets a lot of bad press for the conditions of the prison, the treatment of the inmates, these things, and the conditions that they're in. And I've seen the conditions that they're in. I do watch prison videos. It's just my own pastime. I'm just curious. No, I don't watch prison, but I watch stuff on like the conditions of prisons in other countries. I have seen the conditions of the El Salvador, that prison versus like the Filipino prison. The Filipino one, dude, is
worse.
Way worse. Way worse. Yeah. Where we can go into that. The health and the environment for health conditions, I guess you could say, are really bad compared to the El Salvador one. It's still bad. They're in these cramped cells, but from what I've heard, the treatment of them, is like a reward system where, good behavior gets you this. There is stuff like that going on there. The Filipino one that I read, I mean, it's a nightmare. It's just hell on earth, basically. From the conditions of, you have a cell that's meant for 150 people, but they stuff 500 in them because they're so flooded with prisoners and not enough money to build new prisons to house them, basically. So you got that. Men are learning to sleep standing up. Is
there that many criminals in the Philippines?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Okay, I only know about this because I've been following a story around this YouTuber that went to the Philippines. Okay. His name is Vladimir. He's some Russian name. He was a famous YouTuber.
Yeah, you've told me this. Okay, go on.
Yeah, and he basically went. I only know about the Filipino prison system because of this, by the way. It's not like I searched for this in my free time. All right. But I'm fascinated because this is like the ultimate nightmare of any Westerner, really, is to go to another country. Now, he deserved everything. He basically committed crimes on camera for his live streaming that he likes to do. He likes to live stream, and he's called what they say a nuisance streamer. A nuisance.
That already sounds annoying.
That's a genre of content. People watch this shit. So they go out into the world and they just go and bother people. They harass people, basically, and do like dumb tricks or like pranks or just act like a fucking fool. For example, he went and like took a cop's hat, like a security guard, just took it and ran with it. And the guy was coming in, and it's just so hilarious. Another time, he actually went up to a woman and was joking like he was going to rob her. He said, "I'm going to rob you," as a joke, but she did not. It was not his. He looked aggressive, but it was supposed to be like a prank. Like, okay, that's not good. What else did he do? He stole some shit from a store, and there was a lot of things he did. Essentially, it was all filmed because he has a channel where he's filming himself literally committing crimes. And then later, he gets arrested. And he thinks that he's just going to go back to America and be deported like every Westerner. But things take a turn.
Wasn't he arrested for like stealing a cop car or like
he like got on it and like act like he didn't like ride it away, but he got on it and he was like acting like, and he like was biking down the street, with it as a prank. And the cop, and I work with a lot of Filipinos.
Yeah.
The Filipinos, they're so sweet. Like the cop was just kind of like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? Basically. And he's trying to get it on camera, and he does all those things, and then they basically arrest him, and then usually what happens is they would deport these people because that's just how it works in most countries. They decided to make an example of him and said that you are not getting deported. We're keeping you here, basically.
Right.
Long story short, that's the reason why I know about the conditions of the Filipino prisons, is because he's there right now. He's awaiting trial. Their court systems were backed up by like 5 years, I think. So like he has to wait. I think it's like 3 to 5 years basically before he can even see a judge.
Man, so he's just waiting.
He's in one of the worst conditions you can imagine. Men are sleeping standing up. There's no room to lay down. They're cramped like this. It's like sardines, basically. And then there's no running water. So everyone just pisses like in a hole. There's this big trough type of thing. So you got piss smell, and rats are, running around, and the food per day
I was going to say, so this is like the worst of the worst.
So it's a really, really, really bad situation. Yeah, like they're rough conditions. I've looked at the El Salvador one. It's not great, but the conditions, as far as how clean they are, and they get running water, and they get this many meals per day, and that's actually decent food, by the way. I looked at the food compares. Yeah, you know why I did all this, because I am me. And what they're getting in the Philippines, the per diem on it, I think for all 3 meals is equivalent to like $1.25 essentially. So it's just like rice and like maybe a small piece of egg type of thing, and like that's it. Bad conditions. Wow. So to slightly defend this Bukele guy, I'm not saying I defend everything he does, but by comparison, I've seen worse. Outside of that, he did have a pretty big impact on crime rate there, which is really cool. He did that for the people. I like that he adopted the Bitcoin standard. That really turned their financial system around. It's not perfect.
Right. Because it was kind of close to like a Venezuela almost, wasn't it?
Pretty much, dude. Most of those South American countries are close to that. And he's Central America, but you know what I mean? That area, a lot of their currencies are very inflated. So yeah, he adopted the Bitcoin standard in like 2022, and I have mad respect. That took balls. And I saw the other day that he is essentially double. Like he doubled his money on his investment. Yeah.
For the country.
It's their legal tender, like our dollar. It's they use Bitcoin for everyday purchases.
Right.
Which is really cool to see.
They're the first country to do that.
Yes, there's been others. I think an African country did, if I'm not mistaken.
Would it be
countries that adopted
Liberia? I don't know. My geography in Africa kind of.
Yeah, I don't know much about it either. Looks like El Salvador. El Salvador was the very first one. El Salvador was the first country. Looks like there's others. So in Africa, what is this? Legality of cryptocurrency. No, dude. Give me some AI stuff here. Come on.
So
I think it is El Salvador. I think they were one of the first ones. Looks like it was adopted in 2021. Good for him.
Okay, so 2021. Now, but since then, have other countries adopted it?
I'm trying to find out here. I need a Jamie, like from Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Can you pull that up, Jamie?
Yeah. So okay, Bitcoin. Well, I think it was around that time, 2020, 2021, where the BRICS currency.
BRICS. I know a bit about that. Not
a
lot.
I don't know a whole lot. I know like there's some countries.
Before we get to that though, on the Bitcoin thing. So El Salvador. We also have Central African Republic.
Okay.
Looks like Panama. It allows the use of it. It's not legal tender though. So Central African Republic, it's legal tender. But in Panama, it's just you can allow the use of it, but it's probably not the official currency, right? Ukraine, not official, but they've legalized it and regulated after El Salvador's decision. Arizona, the state, proposed a bill to make Bitcoin legal tender in the state. That's pretty cool. Didn't pass, though. Of course not.
Yeah, not enough people that are...
Not to our almighty dollar.
Dare you.
Hell, yeah. What were you going to say about the BRICS. Actually, yeah, there is something we can talk about later about kind of crypto and money.
No, it's just with the BRICS, how countries are shifting away from the dollar to more of a other standard currency. But then but those countries are doing it to offset the dollar's power. Why wouldn't they just go into Bitcoin to give them power over control over it, over those few countries, more control over the supply chain or the how things.
Well, yeah, dude, a lot of them are many countries have already started their own Bitcoin treasuries. Like many. They are buying it up. A lot of them are. US is buying it up now. It's either just passed or they're about to. It's there. Like they're starting their own Bitcoin treasury. So countries are like a lot of these countries are now buying them up. Why would that unified currency group of countries not just go for Bitcoin? I don't know. That's a good question. I think adoption's still happening. These are early days. We're in July of 2025 when we're starting to see like now countries and major financial institutions starting to buy it all up, basically, is what's happening. They want to buy it all up, but not for power, I would say probably that's part of it, but it's because a lot of it they're creating these financial instruments that allow the everyday man to basically buy Bitcoin, but it's not actually theirs. They're buying exposure to it. So they've created these like synthetic products, basically, or it's called ETFs, like a Bitcoin ETF. All that is the financial institution bought a lot of fucking Bitcoin, and now they're just giving people access to just like exposure to it. You never get to own it though. You just now have basically a product that kind of follows the price of Bitcoin, so you get exposure to it, but you never really own it though, which is interesting.
Yeah. Quite interesting. All right. Well, shall we shift gears into kind of what we want to talk about today?
Yeah. This is a really good topic. I'm super pumped for it. Talking about the mega churches.
The mega of the mega.
The biggest ones that have the most money flowing through them, and through God. It's just the money system of God to the church, people back to God.
Prosperity, gospel, faith.
Yeah.
But before we start, I don't think this is this is an attack on faith or like religion itself. This is more of an analysis on like the mega churches of these people that take advantage of those who are, a lot of them biblically illiterate, and those that are in desperate of need or and want some clarity or want some sense of relief. And I feel like these mega churches with these big pastures are really not big. They're like little guys.
Pastors.
Huh?
Yeah. You said pasture. I was like, the pasture is a pastor.
Pasture.
It is a pasture of pastors. There's many of them, and they all operate and sound pretty similar, and all have a very similar, I guess, message, if you will. It's a message
around money. A lot of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they push their merch, they push their, their books, they press for donations. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's interesting how people can, I don't know how like they can, I guess people just try to find a community or a place where they feel a connection. Right? But
they're clearly a lot of people that probably are going to those types of churches. And these are basically the churches that all kind of are under the guise of what they call, or under the message of the prosperity gospel, which is basically if you give money to the church will give blessings to you. It's a reciprocity thing that was established many, many years ago. I don't know when exactly was the first guy. I mean, Kenneth Copeland's been around for like 40-ish years. I know in the 70s he was around. I don't know. Benny Hinn's also been around a very long time as well. So this is a type of religion, if you will, but it comes down to kind of that reciprocity where you need to give money to be and have faith to be able to receive the blessings that you desire. And whatever that is, you know, if it might be more money in your bank account, or maybe a better marriage, or maybe a more fulfilling job, or so these like things that come from pain, I believe, is what this whole entire movement, they are capitalizing on people's pain.
Yeah, exactly. They're preying on, what was the quote? Where was a good quote? It was the pay to pray people. It was Joel Osteen. You know Joel Osteen.
He's one of my faves because he's from where I'm from. He's from my hometown.
That's crazy. So have you seen the?
I've been in the church. I haven't seen him though. I think I've been in the church. He basically bought the old Rockets stadium where the Houston Rockets played. He bought that because they built another one, I believe, and he bought that one because his old church wasn't big enough. He needed a stadium, basically. And what an interesting man, you know. But all of them really, you know, we could talk about kind of each one of that. He's a good starter because I kind of know where his church is.
Yeah, you're like right there.
Yeah, there's a distinct memory I have growing up. I'm from Houston. I was raised there. I was born somewhere else. I was born in Austin, but I was raised in Houston. And I remember during Katrina, it was a big deal because when the Katrina victims were impacted by the floods in Louisiana, this was,
I remember this,
2006 or something like that. A lot of the victims came to Houston because we were very close to Louisiana. They came to Houston. It's a big hub. And they were seeking refuge, basically, in some sort of large building where they could recover and get supplies and get the help they needed.
Right.
But he was approached, Joel Osteen, the mega evangelist. He was approached to say, we're looking for some help. Would you mind opening your doors for these people? And he wouldn't do it. He said no.
I remember that.
And he said no. It had to do with a lot of like cleanliness things and hurting the church and da 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 da. He said no. And eventually, though, he was pressed enough, I think, from the media and everything. Eventually, he did open the doors, but initially it was no, which says a lot about that guy's character.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that guy, that says a lot, yeah. Especially on a national disaster, and you have people that need a place to, like, shelter, and you have the space, but you're not going to share. It's a very, like, yeah, that's
you have the money to. He has the money to.
The money,
because there's going to be property damage. It's just what's up. People coming in, they're bringing all their stuff. There will be property damage, of course. Right. But that guy's got the fucking money. These guys are millionaires. They're millionaire preachers.
Some of them are like hundreds of millionaire, or you know,
some of them are close to $1 billion. I think Kenneth Copeland is in the upper nines. His net worth. He's close to $1 billionaire. A preacher.
He's the one with the compound.
Yeah, we can go back. We can go to him in a sec, but back to Joel Osteen, just to kind of wrap up there, really. There's not much else. This guy was known for that, which was kind of despicable in my mind. And he basically eventually got pressed enough where people had to go in there. He's got the money, though, to cover damages, whatever it fucking might be. These people need help. And if you preach the word of God, as you say, to help others, which we know that you need to help others. You probably should. Yeah. Which was interesting as well. I think there was a guy in Houston. His name was Mattress Mac. That was his name. He's one of those like. Do you know this guy?
No. What's the mattress guy? The mattress guy. He was in like prison right now, or jail.
No, different guy. Different mattress guy. This guy was a.
Look into that one. I'm not gonna. I can't remember. But anyways, mattress guy?
Yeah, so there's a guy named Mattress Mac, right, in Houston. He was kind of a well-known figure in the city, very large city, but this is a population, I forget, it's multi-millions, but like it's a huge city. But he was a well-known guy. He had a series of like mattress stores. Imagine a mattress restaurant. Actually, it'd be kind of nice to just walk in and ask for a double. Be able to like a double on a double. No, he owned this mattress stores, and basically he was the first when the Katrina victims happened. The first to be like, "What do you need? What can I do? How can I help?" Basically, awesome guy, very noble for that, which was the direct opposite of what's supposed to be I guess, a symbol of God. If you're a pastor, right, you should be doing that first. But instead you say no, because it's gonna hurt, I don't know, hurt our church or something like that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a place of worship and a place to bring people together, yet you're gonna like push them out.
Well, I think when the foundation of that entire religion is based on money given, we need to receive money first before we can help you. Well, those people from Katrina, I don't imagine they have a lot, right? They're kind of in a rough shape, so they
Right.
can't donate anything to your church.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they talk a lot about like how faith and money will equals more blessed your life will get, or how much more blessed your life is by giving your faith and money. It was kind of like
Money, yeah.
throughout a lot of their speeches.
They are a speech. I mean, it's a sermon, but it's just a speech, and they're lacing these marketing tactics all throughout to
Right.
try to persuade people to give money.
Exactly. And then they're cherry picking different verses or different scriptures and then omitting certain things to get the message that they're wanting to get across
Right.
through like manipulation and then getting you to like donate.
Yeah,
Because I guess
please
that's
donate.
the end goal, right?
Right. Is that the end goal? And yeah, it's always to donate. I see it as a funnel, right? You just bring people in,
Mm-hmm.
you adapt your messaging to be what it
Oh.
needs to basically persuade people to donate their money to you. It's just manipulation.
Mm-hmm. And now they have it where you go in and not only do they have the basket, but they have you can take credit card. You can text to donate. I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
there's a QR code to donate. So
Yeah,
like,
you can text to donate now because you're like, we've made it easier now. All you do is text, 366-091, and then you'll be able to just have a quick link. Yeah, a quick link right to God. So you get to be able to click the link, submit your prayer, and then pay for that shit. Pay for it right there. And leave a tip. Fucking leave a tip too. All
yeah.
right. We need it's one of those, like, in America when you go to the kiosk, you got the nice
Oh yeah,
iPad with
swipe it
it
over.
starts with 35% tip and goes up to like 70. Like, what would you like to do? I could totally see that happening at these churches, having to tip.
Right. I mean, that's kind of what you're doing when you're there. Yeah. I never really understood. I mean, I guess the church for the people, because they're, I don't know, donating money to church. I've never really,
You're supposed to donate 10%. That's what God
yeah,
said.
I never understood that part. I was like,
It's in the Bible. I don't think it's in the Bible. Like, I don't remember a 10%.
tax,
Yeah, it's a tax. You're
10% tax.
donating. You're donating it, and this is not to say that obviously all we're talking about a very specific type of church here.
Yeah.
Like, there are other churches, of course, that do take that money, they
Right.
allocate it into the right places,
Their
and that is how
community
it.
and the people.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, that I am for, and that yes, like those. Obviously, I'm like, yeah, that's good. But when we're talking about these, when you got to pull out a credit card, or like they have
yeah.
give you
You
other
want
options
a
to
credit card, or you're adapting the messaging within the Bible to be cherry picking certain things that basically support this marketing campaign. It's a marketing campaign every
right.
fucking Sunday. Basically, they
And
show up.
everybody's and it's a
Everyone's prepped, because if you really think about it, they open with music, right? Which is
oh
going to
yeah,
pump emotions. My emotions are fucking
yeah,
up here
yeah,
now,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah. They have to get the
like,
emotions up.
God, everyone's like, I'm doing like backflips down the fucking aisle. It's like, this
Just
guy loves God. I'm like,
you're
dun,
like, woo!
yeah, because I get fucking pumped when I arrive. I want all that music like pumping in my veins. I'm like, I'm like,
Get it
God,
going. Yeah,
God,
go.
God. And then they start the sermon. And that's a natural flow, right? And be like, oh,
You just take that energy in.
I'm feeling fucking good right now. Like, I want to give some money, man. I want to give some money, and I'm
Mm,
going to give my money and my faith. And then in return, I'm going to get all the blessings that I asked for. Makes sense. If you were to run it that way, it kind of makes sense. You pump people in emotionally. People
yeah.
buy with emotion. Now they're buying with emotion, and then they buy, and then it's done. And in the end, nothing happens for them. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. I imagine, though, that some of them would have that type of, like, what's that called? It's kind of a delusional way of seeing things where they give money And then maybe next week there was a coincidence and something good happens, and they easily can just attribute it right back to what they did that Sunday.
Right. I could see that.
People do that.
Because the
They will
change.
rationalize, basically.
Yeah. They'll pick things and figure out how to like make it, connect it. Which sometimes that can be, you can see how it connects, but sometimes people will really kind of go around, find, interesting ways how it can like find a connection for two things.
Yeah, but people do that naturally. I think that because that will support their belief system, right?
Mhm.
Kind of supports it. Because if not, they're just giving money away to these charlatans, which is what they are. But for them, probably they are receiving probably some good feelings around it. They leave, they receive good feelings, which is nice. But in the end, though, I guess if your bank account is drained while you're filling the pockets of one man
Right.
and his people or whatever, in the end, like how is there a gain there for you?
Yeah. Shouldn't you be focusing on yourself and your family first before you're, or,
The manipulation is that they are, because if they want to improve their family, they need to pay. And if they get paid, they are supposed to receive back the thing they want, but they're really not. And the beauty of it all, I think, and we can go to any other pastor that we know, that I know Kenneth Copeland, I know Benny Hinn, there's a few others. Kenneth Copeland's an interesting one because I did watch something on regarding his home where he lives. It's basically a massive compound in Dallas where the church is on the property. But if you go through a few gates, you get to his estate. It's an estate. It's fucking massive. And the beauty of it is that under federal law, that's considered, I forget what they call it, like a pastor's quarters or something like that. It's something where there's no property tax on it. You pay no property tax because of that.
Well, yes. And so, I think I saw the same one you're talking about. So like, and that's true. Yes. Now, the reason that was, or part of the reason why that was put in place, because pastors don't really, the average pastor doesn't really earn a whole lot, right?
The
Like
average one does not.
Right. So it makes sense for them. Does
That
not
law makes sense for them, not for others. There needs to be, it's that tax law should never be this or that.
Right.
There should always be some sort of scale where it makes sense. If you're making $50K a year as a pastor, which is a very modest salary, especially fucking now in this world. Basically, yeah, you should have exemptions on property tax, exemptions on revenue that come through your organization, right? That's going to help out, and hopefully you're moving that money toward good.
Right.
But if you're making like 100, 152, and now you're up in the millions,
close to $1 billion.
That law there needs to be a rule.
We need to we're gonna
like
stop
a little
this
rule. Yeah, if you're making like 2.2 mil, it's like that shit's not exempt. You got to pay taxes on that.
Yeah, they're just letting them just go. It's like nobody.
Yeah, on top of that, like on his compound, he's got like a I forget what it, like 8 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms type of thing. He's got his own jet runway.
Yeah, that's all disgusting.
Yeah, you need a runway. And there was areas on the compound, they said that he had plans early on in his little career to build like a retirement community where you can go and retire and have this entire area fully taken care of for you. There was one, I think, for like a school that he was going to make as well.
Like a small
There was
town.
all these things that he was going to promise back to and it's funny because like 30 years later, none of those things happened.
And he's just using it for other uses.
Yeah, now it's just all to him. He's nearly worth $1 billion. That is a fact. We can look it up. It's nuts.
And doesn't he have like some land too where he can hunt and stuff and like?
Yeah, so this guy, this is beautiful. I love this part of it. So he basically has land that I think in his defense, he did purchase prior to knowing about it. Because what happened is earlier on, he bought land in Texas. And at the time, I believe fracking was not around. So they didn't have the ability at that time to get the oil out, but it did exist. I don't think he knew that, though, or he might have. But later, he said that God had spoken to him to buy that land. It was like he was just sitting by a river and he was like sitting next to a tree, and God spoke to him. He's like, that land over there. He's like, yes, sir. And he goes, this is what happened. This is totally what happened. And It's just true. This is what he said, by the way, happened. And then later, they did find out that through fracking, there was a lot of oil under that land.
That's right. And now he has an oil company that is
making an oil company now. That's God helped him with. It was God that helped him with, and he now can produce oil, which we know is just a fucking cash cow in itself.
Right.
Normally, when you have an operation like that on a piece of land that you built, you are now earning what they call, I forget the name of it. It's like unidentified, separated income, like separate from the church, basically, right? That's how it should be. And that income is taxed. It is normally. However, there's a nice little loophole for Mr. Kenneth Copeland that I believe if you, the rule is like, if you had owned the land prior to them discovering the ability to do this, you are tax exempt from that. It's a loophole. It's a nice loophole.
So he found out about it and then just kind of jumped on it.
I think after, yeah. And he jumped on it, and later this guy is in IRS loophole heaven, basically. He has exemptions off all of his income because it's through the church. Churches are tax exempt entities automatically. Then you got your house, which you normally pay property taxes on, which in Texas are kind of high, exempt because that's pastor's quarters. He needs his church. He needs his mega mansion church or his mega mansion house, right? And then lastly, he has this piece of land that produces oil now, and he's also exempt from that due to a loophole. Guy's raking it in. He's doing very well.
I don't know. We're at that level of like that much money and power, it definitely changes people, right?
Sure. It's a little better there.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's better. Towards the end, you're just like,
fuck it. They're gonna deal with it.
Right.
Actually, no. I'm sure in post we can do some very nice. We'll make it look good.
Oh yeah, I actually do have something in regards to all this. So this is what I was talking about last week about. I had something to share all the way towards the end here. Here we go. And let me share this.
Is it regarding our favorite pastors?
Churches are allowed to endorse political candidates without losing tax exempt status. This just happened, just a few days ago. So it's upending a 70-year interpretation tax code that's barred certain nonprofit groups, including church, from endorsing political candidates without putting their tax exempt status in jeopardy.
I totally can get. I'm glad that they're starting to put things in place because of the ones that are abusing that law, essentially. That's good that they're recognizing that because it's gotten out of hand with what's going on. Not just obviously their tax exemption status and all this money, but like just the fucking prosperity gospel is just bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just ways for them to make money. They think they're healing people. There's these live acts on stage of them like, I heal you. And then people and they fall on the ground and like, praise Jesus, you can walk again. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit. And people believe it.
People believe it, and they also have an influence and a, about how what they say or what they tell you, it definitely has an influence on you.
Yeah.
So now too, with how they can endorse political candidates.
Yep.
Can also supercharge their base or like, I don't know, it'd be interesting because before they really couldn't, you got to keep it separate, but it looks like now they can kind of like bring that into it as well.
Yeah, they can. They've introduced it. Like I've saw a few.
I know there's some that have done it.
Clips.
But now it's open to all where they can without risk.
Basically, and they'll probably start making donations, right, toward, the political party that they lean toward, right? And then they tell their congregation. What are they called? The people that they speak to. Is that right?
Yeah, the congregation.
Yeah, they influence their political beliefs as well, right? So yeah, I mean, it's obviously been a problem for a long time. There are people that are still in it and still believe it. Yeah. So I don't plan on really pursuing that anytime soon. I know I had told you for a while that I was wanting to become a mega pastor. Like I had these dreams because I was, I was just really thinking that that's what God would want.
Right.
Is to try to just suck up all the money I can get for prosperity.
What made you change your mind?
I want to say that the Lord spoke to me. He does speak to me, right? I listen. Most of the time I just ignore him because he's just fucking trying to get my attention. The most annoying parts. He's annoying sometimes, right? He's always whispering to me and talking to me,
sending you DMs.
Yeah, just fucking DMing me on Instagram. I'm like, God, I'm busy. Busy right now. But then, he keeps whispering, go out there and spread prosperity. And then through that, they will have prosperity too. It just takes a lot of money, by the way. A lot. I need some financing. Right. A jet. Speaking of, I got a nice little clip. Yeah. I got a clip. Yeah, it's a good clip. Mr. Kenneth Copeland himself. I don't think I can ever get to Kenneth Copeland level. But maybe, man, sometimes I go on and off about this dream, but I just might pursue it again. I just don't know what the name of my church would be.
Stay away from it.
Oh, okay. Got it. I don't know when I share. What's this? Let me see if I can share it and you can hear the audio.
This one? Yeah, this is.
I don't know if you can. Can you hear it? No? All right. Technical difficulties, everyone. Everyone chill the fuck out. I'm going to figure it out.
We'll wait.
All right. We're waiting. It has to be, and I know why. Watch. Here we go. And we are doing it. Everyone's going to watch. Hold on.
Waiting.
Mr. Kenneth Copeland is being interviewed on his property, and he's being interviewed about the recent purchase he made. It was a jet. Yeah.
He didn't like the question.
He did not. You see this?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Buy in luxury.
Look at that face.
That face.
Sorry, it's the face.
No. Let's talk about it. That face.
It looks so evil, like the laugh and the
way he paused. The way he paused was just like I paid.
Yeah.
He just kind of smiles, like he's not. It's an evil man. This is an evil man. But it's interesting. So watch here. Or about the This is my dream. Yeah, I want to be this man. To have that much power, it's gonna be you're gonna corrupt yourself. It's a path to corruption.
Yeah.
Look at his face. This guy is so in the money. It's all he cares about.
Yeah.
You don't like to.
Amazing, right? Yeah, you once said that getting into a commercial plane is like getting into a tube full of demons.
That guy looks like a demon.
Look at his eyes.
I don't wanna.
I did not say that, and don't you ever say that I did.
Never say that.
Back. Look at his eyes.
Look at his eyes. I just look at him.
He goes from that to smiling, and then quotes some shit from the Bible to like deflect. It's like you're out of your mind, dude.
Yeah, that guy. That's too much. He is too much.
Yes. Well, overall, I think I'm just gonna probably not pursue that.
It's probably a good.
I'm gonna pick something different. I decided.
Okay.
I think it's the good idea.
I think so. All right. There was something I was going to. Where is it at? Go.
What do you got? Is it another one? Is it another religion that you're suggesting?
I guess we're done with this now. I think that we've.
It's up to you, really. If you have anything interesting, if not, we can.
No, I was just gonna play a little clip from a video, but I don't think we need to. We've gone long enough on this topic. We can go into something else, but
well, I think at this time, I think that really is a nice little wrap up because I decided that it's best megachurches. All right, people. See you next week.
Till then.